Red dots are great. They simplify the aiming process. You know, for a new shooter, the challenge is trying to simultaneously align the sights correctly and see the sights correctly, and then not over grip and pull the trigger straight to the rear. Basically, shooting a red dot eliminates the sighting challenge and allows you just to focus on grip and hopefully correct manipulation of the trigger. And so one of the things that people struggle with, though, is finding their dot. A lot of times people struggle with that because they do a lot of casting and it doesn't necessarily settle in the right spot, or they come up and they bowl and they're fishing and looking for it. A couple things you can do and or think about would be, instead of moving your, people talk about moving your front sight to the target and they would see that front sight and settle the rear sight into the back. Well, I think about moving my rear sight to the target. And so it's just a mental shift of momentum. And if I think about moving my rear sight to the target, really what happens is the slide stays flat as I come up and the dot is right where it needs to be. So if you have your gun and you have your line of sight, and if this support hand thumb is parallel to that line of sight like that, and then when you go to present the gun, basically you're pointing at the target with your thumb, your sights are going to be aligned as well. Okay, so those are two ways that seem to be helpful for lots of folks at ensuring their red dot sight, that they find it quickly as they present the gun. And that really is probably the biggest challenge for most people, and a lot of it is reps. There are a lot of people who have shot for a long time. They have bad habits, and what I think is the red dot exposes some of those bad habits. There are other ways to do it and solve the same problem, but those are two ways that I have found effective.